knows what's going to happen with his horse's stride before he gets there. But sometimes that can be an advantage because you start to assume that because you see a certain stride out here, it's going to happen in there. Mike, oh my goodness, Clark Montgomery and his horse almost fell down after the third fence.
Yes, on course it is the final team rider for the United States of America. Clark Montgomery Loughan Glen, another of these Rio-bound combinations for the US. He rides also on the Land Rover US eventing team here for the Nations Cup. He jumps the angled hedges at 4. This Irish sport horse by Limerick said won that over 100 strong 3-star at the Grantham Cup at Beltham in 2015, 6th at Le Moulin, and then won Blenheim. So he's concentrated on the CIC competition this year, including a 2nd place in the Event Rider Masters at Bramham a couple of weeks ago.
Well, not just an absolutely foot-perfect ride through there, because Loughan Glen landed and chopped his stride a little bit, wasn't sure where to go, and it took Clark a stride to get back in operation.
This, of course, is our leading combination. Loughan Glen and Clark Montgomery on their dressage score of 36.3. They added nothing in jumping last night. And this is the first real opportunity for American eventing fans to see Clark in the flesh since about 2012. So, right-hand side to right-hand side.
Yep. Yes, you can see why horses might be a little bit claustrophobic jumping in between those two. Those hedges are quite tall. They're 10 or 15 feet high. And some horses feel a bit squeezed.
Jumping out over the hammock, Loughan Glen, Clark Montgomery. This is for both individual honours and for the US team in the Nations Cup. They can't be beaten, but Clark would love to just put the icing on the cake with a 0 score from cross-country today for himself and for the team. Mighty Nice and Philip Dutton got 9.2 time penalties a little earlier on with a clear for jumping, so that puts them on a 57.1.
Yeah, going well here. Clark was just a little conservative off the turn there at the top of the hill. That's really a place a rider should put their hands down. We saw Lauren Kiefer do it well earlier. We saw Marilyn Little have a little bit of a hiccup up there because she was too calculating off the corner. I think that's a jump that you can really put your hands down and flow over it. Let the horse gallop up to it.
We're clearly not the only people who've been really thinking about that balustrade oxer, because he very nearly overanalyzed it. Yes. The horse then, because he was thinking about it so much, the horse went, what, and then chipped in.
Yes. You see the angle, and then Clark, with his experience, he jumped in on an angle, but then he closed his right leg and pushed the horse back over to make sure the horse didn't duck out. If a horse ducks out there, he'll usually go off to the right. They go away from the fence. They'll slide down the fence line. That's the second time this horse has landed and stumbled. I don't know if they've changed his footing or if he's not used to going back and forth. I mean, this is an experienced horse.
Yep.
You wouldn't think that going back and forth from turf to artificial surface would bother him.
Yeah, it's something they do at Le Moulin, where the horse was 6th last summer, so.
It's kind of good practice for Clark, because I can tell you from experience, when you get to the Olympics, everything goes according to plan until they say 3, 2, 1, go, and then your plan goes out the window because something happens that you didn't scheme for, you didn't plan for, and you've got to react, and you've got to get yourself to the other side of the jump anyway.
Well, what's the military saying? No plan survives first contact with the enemy.
Yeah, it's the same. That's the same ever since. Families tend to stay in the business.
Clark Montgomery, Loughan Glen at the USEA Hollow. This is close to home now for the